Good afternoon. We are starting binder number 2. So for those of us that are at home, you will get your binder when you return to school. I have it for you, but on the Google Classroom assignment, I have the page that we are working on today. So make sure you're looking at the Google Classroom assignment, and you'll have these pages in the Google Classroom. You'll get the actual binder when you return to school. So we are starting our new unit. Unit 5 is dealing with ratios. So if we look at that, I can write a ratio for a given situation 3 ways and in simplest form. So the first thing we need to know is, what is a ratio? A ratio compares a part to a part. So the ratio compares a part to a part. So in what we were doing in class, our in-class activity with shooting the paper into the wastebasket, the part to a part. So we were comparing the misses to the makes. So we were comparing the two parts to each other. So if a bag contains 6 yellow marbles, 8 blue marbles, 3 red marbles, and 12 green marbles, our ratio would be comparing part to part. So if we look for blue to yellow, you always start, if it says blue here, your first number has to be the blue number. So it would be 8 to 6 yellow. So 8 blue marbles to 6 yellow marbles. Simplified, we can divide what number out of both 8 and 6, Chase? We can divide a 2 out. So 8 divided by 2 would be 4. 6 divided by 2 would be 3. So that's how we simplified it. 8 to 6 would be the same as 4 to 3. Then it says write it in 3 different ways. So we have 4 to 3. We have 4 with our colon 3. And we can also write it as fraction, 4 over 3. So when we say red to green, we have to look at the red marbles first.
Why do you look at the red marble first?
Because it says red here first. So that's how we know which number goes to which word. If it says red first, then we have to put that number first. So whatever the first word is, the number has to correspond to it. So red is 3, green is 12. How can we simplify that? Izzy? Divide that 3 out. So it would be 1 to 4. And then write it 3 ways. Okay. Then we have blue to green. So blue is listed first, so we have to do the blue number first. Green is 12, so 8 to 12. What would my simplified ratio be, Cole?
4.
We can divide the 4 out.
2.
So 2 to 3. And then write it 3 ways. Yellow is the 6 to red is 3. We can divide that 3 out, so it's 2 to 1. Write it 3 ways. And then red to blue and green. So my red is 3. Blue and green, I'm going to add the blue and the green together. So 8 plus 12 gives me 20. I can't simplify that anymore, so it stays 3 to 20. And then write it 3 ways. So how is a ratio different than a fraction? A ratio compares a part to a part. whereas a fraction compares the part to the whole. So remember when we were talking in the last unit, how we had the part on top, the P on top with the W on the bottom. So a fraction compares parts to whole. So when we look at this end section here, and I called it a fraction, it's a ratio. So it's because it's part to part. It's not part to the whole. We're not putting how many marbles are there all together. That would be the whole. Paul?
Okay, for the fractions, what is they, for the 3 ways, for the fractions, not do one of them because it's not ratios?
It works. We can still definitely use it. We can write it out that way.
Okay.
So it's written out that way. So a ratio compares part to whole. I'm sorry, part to part. And the fraction compares part to whole. So let's say, well, it says answer the questions, put your ratios in the simplest form. Edward?
You can take a different code so I can see it.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
You can't see the code.
Oh, you can't see the red so well? You want a different color?
Red?
Yeah. It's because this isn't on Microsoft Word, it's on PDF, so it's going through Adobe, so the pen is thinner than what you're used to me writing with. Okay, so you can always go back and look at the video tonight if you miss filling something in, or you can ask a friend. I'll see if I can get the pen to go bigger next time, I'm not sure.
They're waiting up for it.
Okay, so with that, we are gonna, excuse me, we are going to stop. We're gonna continue this lesson tomorrow. Okay, so we will continue the lesson tomorrow. Try to do some of the work that you can so we can go over tomorrow how it went. So when we get back from our prayer service, we are going to continue working on these pages.